Hey everyone, Miller here. Uh, my voice is a little funny right now, so just ignore that for the rest of the video. Anyway, the new Sacrificial Cencer weapon in Project Remix. This weapon, right? Now, it's a little weird, it's a little tricky, but once you get used to it, it's a very, very fun weapon. Now, the whole gimmick, the whole schmick of this weapon, it's that it's a cloning weapon, and it makes clones, or rather hallucinations, and you can put people to sleep, like a tranquilizer. Uh, and also you can also deal damage, but nobody cares about that. The sleep mist that your M1 unleashes. Oh yeah, it's a melee weapon. It's a melee weapon. You can put people to sleep, or you can damage them for like pitiful amounts of damage, to be honest. And then once you sleep them completely, you just gotta hit them once with the weapon, and then boom, you make a sacrifice. And this player is being sacrificed, and if they don't make it out of the little ring that spawns around them, that ring turns into an explosion that basically is a guaranteed kill. It deals so much damage, like like actually so much damage. But yeah, generally the weapon is like a melee with a 35% speed boost and 50 extra health. So 50 extra max health. It's pretty tanky, but the problem is your damage isn't great, so just don't go into a fight expecting to do a lot. You gotta get the sacrifice. The sacrifice is the main meat of the weapon. It's basically the whole point, actually. Now, how should you, a professional, and professional Project Remix player play this weapon like a professional? A professional. Anyway, I did that enough of that. What should you do with this weapon? Basically, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, okay? You don't have to follow it. You don't have to play with the weapon however you want, as long as it's helpful. Stop being. Can you want to? Anyway, I'm getting off topic. How should you play this weapon? In my opinion, this weapon is a mix of stealth damage, or rather just a stealthy playstyle, as well as like burst damage in AoE. It's leaning to more towards like an assassin weapon because of the ritual. The ritual is the main meat, as I said before. It's like a great tool. It can damage other players, other enemies aside from the person you're sacrificing. So it has like some AoE built into it, and it deals a lot of damage. So, the playstyle, game plan, let's discuss. Now let's talk about the clone, the hallucination, the little thing that you spawn. This guy has a lot of utility. If you press M2 with this weapon, you basically go invisible, go completely invisible, and you control and spawn a clone. Now this clone, it can't do damage, but here's the twist, here's the little trickery. It's faster, it swings faster as well, so it can still build up the sleep. It can't do damage, but it can build up sleep. And what you can do is you go to someone, you use your clone and you sleep him up, and then you go in and you're like, alright, here we go. And then you hit him once, boom, sacrifice. Now, this clone has like I said, it has a lot of utility, so I'm gonna go over what you can do with it here. Now this clone, its purpose, it's mostly to build up sleep for the sleep meter. You can sleep them up, sleep off people, and once you're sleeping, you know, I don't have to say it again. You should. So you should use that clone to build up some sleep to those little enemies there, and then once they're at a certain percentage, they don't have to be completely asleep, and I don't recommend making them completely asleep. You know why? Because once they're sleeping, that sleep has a timer, and you gotta get there. So what you want to do is just sleep them enough where it's at a percentage where you can quickly finish off the sleep meter and then pop off that ritual. This great weapon isn't great for head-to-head combat. Its DPS is kind of pathetic, so just don't go around hitting people out of nowhere, okay? Or actually, you know what? Do that. Just don't make it a little subtle. Add some subtlety. Now I can't say this enough. Really utilize that clone. It has so much utility. When using like clones, right? I like to position myself and my clone in a way where like when I cancel the clone. Oh yeah, I have to mention this. When you press M2 again after using it, your clone mimics your actions aside from like dashes and stuff. So this is a really neat way to like distract enemies basically. And I like to position my clone and I so that when I'm sleeping up somebody and the meter's high enough, I'm like, okay, it's time for me to head in and do that ritual. You hear those crickets outside, never mind. Do that ritual. So I cancel my little cloning thing and I make my way, but here's the kicker. My clone is in a position where when I'm walking towards that enemy that I'm sleeping up, they still it's still moving like I'm a real player, right? And I try to move that clone like it is a real player, so that that enemy thinks, oh yeah, this guy's low, easy kill. I'm gonna go head back to my teammates and I'm gonna say hi to my family. Boom! I come out of nowhere, sleep him up, they're dead. So, and why you want to do this? Because these enemies waste abilities. Those abilities will be on cooldown. They might reload, and just general element of surprise when you're chasing a clone. And then boom, it's a clone, and that real guy, he's there. He's mean. He's a bean, and he's coming to kill you. So, yeah, try to make that clone seem somewhat real enough, so to the point where they know it's a clone and you're on the way. It's too late. Yeah, just do that. Now, picture this. Picture in your head. Just imagine, dream that you're like a old guy, goofy little guy, about to head your way into combat, and then oh no, that's three enemies or two enemies or whatever. Whatever it is, it's big, it's scary, and you don't like it. You don't want to fight that thing because you know if you try to fight that thing, you're dead. You are dead, dead. Now, here's something you can do. You can go behind something, hide, do something, and then once you do that, clone yourself, and you can move your clone somewhere else in a way. And then, sorry, you can just get that clone, get their attention, do something, and just act like you're running away off to somewhere else, away from your actual position where you actually are. Those enemies, they're gonna chase that clone. And it's gonna be a waste of their time, and it gives you the room to escape when you cancel that clone. You don't have to run away with that clone until that clone dies. You can just put it somewhere far enough, and then you're like, okay, I can get out of here safely, and then just boot it, go right now. Yeah, that's what you want to do with your clone if you're expecting a fight that you can't win. You can also do this mid-chase, so if there's a bunch of people chasing you, if you're at the right, if you're at the right time, right place at the right time, you can pull it off and they won't notice you. Now, do note that there's a little invisibility particle that goes when invisibility happens, so watch out for that. They might be able to see you as long as they're really paying attention. But you should be fine as long as you're not too obvious. Now here's another tip. When you're doing a sacrifice, do it somewhere that's somewhat near fights and your teammates. You wanna know why? Because ritual, those people sometimes they just walk out of it, and when that happens, it can mean trouble for you. I don't know why, but they always have like 8 billion health. I don't understand why. I thought they'd be weakened or something. But anyway, point is, if your teammates are nearby, then if that ritual fails, guess what? You have your teammates to back you up. And also, here's a little additional tip. Those teammates that are backing you up, yeah, they might bait other enemies to go close by. And when those enemies go close by, the ritual does AoE damage, not just the person you're sacrificing, but also the enemies around it. So that ritual, it might hit all those other enemies, and that's lots of damage. Lots of damage. So try to do that. Now here's another little kicker here. when you're using your clone, right? You want to clone, you want to sleep someone. Do it somewhere that's near your actual position, not your clone's position, your actual position, because you want to quickly make your way towards that enemy when you're ready to sleep him. So that way, because you just it's just a quick finish off, and that plus the fact that sleep fades over time. Yeah, you really want to sleep him. Make sure they get the memo or something. I don't know. Just do that. Do that. It's cool.